help. This should flow naturally for our format. And I also found a really helpful article on Substack, Better Than Yesterday Life. And I got inspiration and kudos to that source. I thank you for that. So, introduction to some life seasons and the power of preparation. Life has its seasons. Some are filled with light and progress, those moments where you feel on top of the world, like everything's clicking into place. Others are heavy, shadowed with challenge and uncertainty, times when you wake up and just getting out of bed feels like a victory. What I've learned over time is that you can't always control the storm. You can't stop the rain from falling or the wind from howling, but you can prepare for it. That's where mental health toolkit comes in. Think of it like this. If you broke your leg, you wouldn't just sit there staring at it, hoping it magically heals. You'd get crutches, see a doctor, and maybe get a cast or give it time to mend. Mental and emotional pain deserves that same level of care. It's not less real just because you can't see it on an x-ray. Building a mental health toolkit means having strategies, habits, and resources ready to go before life gets hard. It's like putting together a safety net, not because you're playing to fall, but because you know it's smart to have something to catch you if you do. I didn't always have a toolkit. There were times in my life when I'd hit a rough patch and just flail, grabbing at anything to feel better or worse, pretending I was fine until I couldn't anymore. But over the years, I built something intentional, something that works for me. I can walk you through how I did it and how you can start creating your own. Because here's the truth: tough times didn't send an RSVP, they just show up. And in conclusion, when they do, you'll be glad you've got something in your back pocket.
Thank God we have a toolkit. Mr. Meg, what are the triggers and warning signs?
Well, number one, understand your triggers and warning signs. The first step in building your toolkit is self awareness. It's the foundation everything else rests on. You've got to know yourself well enough to spot when things are starting to tilt off balance. What are the patterns that show up when your mental health takes a dip? For some example, in some people, it's pulling from away from friends, ghosting texts, manipulating or dodging plans. For others, it might be physical cues, sleeping too much or not at all, snapping at people over small things, or feeling that tight knot of anxiety creep in during quiet moments. For me, I've learned to clock my own red flags. I'll start staying up too late, scrolling my phone instead of sleeping because I'm avoiding something, or I'll skip my walks and exercise activities, telling myself I'm too busy, when really I'm just too drained. Sometimes it's subtler, like losing interest in things that I usually love: music, talking with my best buddy, or reading. Those are my warning lights flashing. Hey, something's off. Recognizing them early gives me a chance to step in before things spiral into a full blown storm. So, how do you figure out yours? Start with some simple questions. Grab a notebook or just think it through. What does it feel like when I'm mentally well? Maybe you're energized, social, sleeping soundly. What are the signs when I'm not? Look back at tough times. What shifted? What situations or people tend to drain me? Work stress, a certain friend who always vents but never listens. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine realized her warning signs was overcommitting, saying yes to every favor or project until she was drowning. For her, that was the signal to slow down. For me, it's those late nights. The more you tune into yourself, the clearer these patterns get. And here's the payoff. Once you know your triggers and signs, you're not just reacting to life, you're one step ahead of it. That's power. Try this week. Jot down one or two things you notice when you're off. It's not just about judging yourself, it's about building a map of your mind. In conclusion, the better you know the terrain, the easier it is to navigate.
Indeed, totally agree with you, Mr. Meg, and very well said. Beautifully articulated. How do I create a daily foundation of well being?
Well, number two, create a daily foundation of well being. Mental health isn't just about what you do when the roof caves in, it's about what you do every day to keep the roof steady. The basics aren't sexy, but they're everything: sleep, nutrition, hydration, movement. These are the bricks in your foundation. Skip them, and the whole house wobbles. Here's what my daily foundation looks like. I've dialed it in over time: 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I can get less when I'm dancing, but a full night is still ideal. No screens an hour before bed helps me actually fall asleep instead of doom scrolling. Daily movement, even a vigorous walk, can hit the reset button on my brain. Ideally, I go for 5 miles a day. If I'm feeling ambitious, I'll do a quick workout. But honestly, just moving matters. Sitting, and we all do too much of it, is the new smoking. Balanced meals. I aim for real whole foods, veggies, protein, nutritious, about 90% of the time. The other meals left over, so ones thrown in. Life's too short. Cheat a bit. Hydration. My goal is 6 cold plastic bottle fills a day. Active electrolyte hydration is great for the taste. I refill my water constantly. Dehydration sneaks up on you. It'll tank your mood before you even notice. Perfection's not the goal, consistency is. One church I've been to has this sign: no perfect people allowed. I love it. Think of mental health like charging your phone. You don't wait till it's dead to plug it in, you top it off so it's ready when you need it. Same with your mind. A strong foundation doesn't prevent every bad day, but it gives you a buffer, a little extra juice to handle the hard stuff. Read, seriously, it expands your mind and settles it down. Let me tell you about when I worked nights delivering newspapers by car to make it through college. I started cutting corners: a few hours of sleep, coffee instead of meals, no exercise. I thought I was toughing it out. Nope, I crashed. Snappy, foggy, miserable. I didn't do as well in studying, and it took too long to get my mojo back. Lesson learned: the basics aren't optional. So start small. Pick one thing, maybe drink an extra glass of water today or set a bedtime alarm. Build from there. In conclusion, your foundation doesn't have to be fancy, it just has to hold you up.
Indeed, to nourish you people. What is a go-to list of coping tools, Mr.
Well,
Meg?
3, build a go to list of coping tools. When I'm anxious or down, the last thing I want is to sit there brainstorming how to feel better. The brain's already a mess. I need something quick and ready. That's why I've got a go to list of coping tools. These aren't complicated or groundbreaking, they're just reliable. Here's what's on mine: writing and thinking about what I want to write for 5 to 10 minutes. I brainstorm whatever's in my head. Stream of consciousness style. It's like unclogging a drain. Calming music that I enjoy. Good time to listen to the Music 101 podcast, for example. An enjoyable playlist can shift my mood fast. Box breathing. Inhale for 6 or for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. It's like a mini vacation for my nervous system. The phenomenal SEAL team does something like this, and they're out there eliminating the bad guys doing things I could only dream of doing. It works. A warm shower, something about the heat just washes the tension away. Sunlight on my face, stepping outside for 5 minutes can flip a switch. I don't know how sunlight and vitamin D works, but it does. Get outside doing what my mom used to tell my sister and I: get out there and blow the stink off you. Texting or praying with my best buddy, even a quick "got a minute" to someone I trust lightens the load. The beauty of this list is it's mine, it fits me. What works for me might not click for you, and that's totally fine. Maybe you're into sketching or petting your dog or blasting heavy metal to shake it off. The point is to experiment and find what sticks. I remember going through my family court process. Everything felt off and I was spiraling. I grabbed my list, picked box breathing and prayer, sat there for however long I needed. It didn't fix everything, but it pulled me out of the free fall. That's what these tools do. They're life rafts, not luxury yachts. Here's your homework: write down 3 things that calm you down or lift you up. Keep it simple, stuff you can do anywhere, anytime. Stick that list in your phone or wallet. Next time you're stuck, pull it out and try one. In conclusion, you'll be surprised how much it helps to just have a plan.
Indeed, have a plan, people, for the whole day or for the whole year. How do I stay connected with the social contact?
This will be point 4: is to stay connected to people who support you. Isolation is a mental health wrecking ball. It's sneaky too. When you're struggling, the first thing you do is to pull back. You skip the call, cancel the plans, tell yourself you'll deal with it alone. But that's a trap. It turns a cycle into a cycle where you isolate, you feel worse, you isolate more. Don't be a hermit. That's why your toolkit needs people, real reliable ones. You don't need a huge crowd, just a handful you can lean on. For me, it's my sister, my best buddy, one gal who gets it. I can text them anything. I'm out. I need to vent, and they're there. It's not always deep talks. Sometimes it's just hearing their voice or laughing about something dumb. I learned this the hard way. A while back, I went through a rough patch. I didn't tell anyone, thought I'd power through. Months went by, and I was a ghost, barely eating, barely sleeping. Finally, I called my buddy. We didn't talk about the roller coaster, just asked for prayer and be patience on my behalf. That one night cracked the wall I'd built. Connection matters. If your circle's thin right now, that's okay. It's not fixed. Start small, reach out to one person this week, say hi, how are you doing? Or be their support first. Check on someone else. Community grows from there. Think about who's in your corner. Write down 2 or 3 names, people who make you feel safe, not judged. That's your emergency contact list. In conclusion, knowing they're there is half the battle.
Knowing are you there, people, to help people who need help. What is the role of technology, Mr. Make, in mental health?
Well, 5, use technology wisely. Your phone's a double edged sword. It can save you or sink you depending on how you wield it. I have to remember I grew up in a pre digital age. I'm not a slave to the technology and I'm intentional about tech. It's too easy to let it run my life instead of supporting it. Here's how I make it work for me: delete the junk. Apps that suck me into comparison or anxiety, gone. Life's better without them. Follow the good stuff. I seek out creators who keep it real, people posting helpful tips, not filtered perfection. Prayer apps and devotionals, Headspace for meditation, Calm for sleep stories, Insight Timer for quick mindfulness, game changers. Notifications off. When I need peace, I silence the buzz. My attention's mine to control. Tech's not the enemy, it's a tool, but you've got to curate it. I used to get sucked into apps for too long and my mood would tank. Now I'm pickier. If it doesn't add value, it doesn't get my time. Try this. Open your phone right now. Unfollow one account that drags you down. Add one that lifts you up. Take 2 minutes. Feels like a reset. In conclusion, your digital world shapes your headspace. Headspace. Make it an ally, not a thief.
I like that, Mr. Meg. Very well said. I'm an ally, not a thief. What do I do if there's an emergency?
Well, this would be number 6. Have a break glass in case of emergency plan. Sometimes tough isn't the word, it's overwhelming. The kind of day when you can't think straight and every decision feels impossible. That's when you need an emergency plan, something pre made so you're not scrambling in the dark. Mine's simple but solid. Call for help. My best buddy, family, or someone I trust implicitly if it's urgent. Tell someone. I text my sister, best buddy, gal, I'm not okay today. No explanation needed. They know. Take a breather. I'll read or listen to music instead of writing if I have to. No guilt. It's survival. Ground myself, naming 5 things I see, 4 I can touch, 3 I can hear, keeps me present. Practice gratefulness and thankfulness. Repeat this. This is temporary. It'll pass. Sometimes it's best to write it down because it works. I keep this plan on my workspace. Seeing it reminds me I've got a lifeline. Last crisis, I hit a wall. Work stress, family stuff, gal, all at once. I pulled out the plan, called my best buddy, just breathed for a bit. It didn't erase the problem, but it got me through the day. Build yours wherever you have to and whatever you need to do. Write down one person to call, one thing to do, and one truth to hold on to. Keep it where you can find it fast. In conclusion, when the storm hits, you won't have to think, you'll just act.
Indeed, you're performing. When should I call in a professional way, Mr. Meg?
Well, point 7, work with a professional. Therapy is not just for rock bottom, it's for staying strong. I used to think you only went when you were broken. Now I see it like the gym. You don't wait till you're out of shape to start lifting. A therapist can dig into stuff you've buried, emotions you dodge, teach you resilience tricks that tailored to you, help set boundaries so you're not drained 24/7, build tools that fit your brain. People start therapy not necessarily in crisis, but because people want to understand themselves better. It can be a game changer. If costs a hurdle, check sliding scale clinics or online options. There's more access now than ever. Don't overthink it. If you're curious, Book one session, see how it feels. In conclusion, you're not signing your life away, you're just giving your mind a tune up.
Indeed, you need to tune it up and make your day better and better and better. How about joy and creativity, Mr. Mike?
Point eight, include joy and creativity in your toolkit. Joy is not optional, it's oxygen. When life's heavy, it's the first thing to vanish, but it's what pulls you back. Keep creative stuff in my toolkit to fight the shrink. Music, making playlists and cranking it up. When I enjoy Ian Hunter or Mott the Hoople, so do the neighbors. Stories, fiction or nonfiction, I enjoy. A comfort movie. Hello, Cool Hand Luke, Wings of Desire. Classics, watch all the time. Newness, even a different walk around home shakes things up. Tough times can make your world small. Creativity cracks it open. Last month, I was stressed out, so I hiked for miles on a whim. Almost fell off the trail, so distracted. Laughed at myself and felt lighter. Joy's messy and worth it. Find yours. What lights you up? Do it this week. Don't wait to deserve it. In conclusion, joy's your fuel.
Joy, 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 people. Let joy in. How about a good check in, Mr. Mike?
So, number nine, check in with yourself regularly. Your toolkit's not static. Life shifts, and so do you. Every few months, I sit down and ask, what's working? What's stale? What do I need now? Last fall, I realized just writing wasn't cutting it anymore. I swapped it for sketching. Felt right. Check ins keep your toolkit alive. Set a reminder 3 months from now, revisit it, tweak what needs tweaking. In conclusion, you're worth the upkeep.
Yes, everybody is worth in everything. Is anybody listening to anyone?
Why not? The bad stuff keeps coming. So, can't there be good things too? What's your spirituality? Have you checked in to see who is listening? This is where your thankfulness, gratefulness, and listening to that still, quiet voice comes in. It's there, but you have to get rid of the distractions, problems, technology, the noise, the distractions, the temptations, and all that worldly stuff. Check in with your spirituality, church, or synagogue service, whatever your place may be. The God who made all things better has better things in store for you. So, in conclusion, check in for yourself, and you know at some point there are people listening.
Indeed, people. So if you need help, please do ask for help. How do we conclude the mental health toolkit, Mr. Mike?
Well, you've got this. So, tough times are part of the deal. They'll come, ready or not. But suffering through them alone without a plan isn't mandatory. Building your mental health toolkit gives you something priceless, the power to care for yourself when everything's uncertain. It's not a fix all, it won't stop the storm, but it'll remind you you're not helpless. You've got tools, you've got hope, and that's enough to start. For those who lean on faith, the Judeo Christian tradition offers a deep well to draw from. Scripture doesn't promise a life without pain. Think of Job or even Christ in Gethsemane, but it frames suffering as something God walks through with you. Psalm 23 says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. That's a tool in itself, the belief that you're not abandoned, that a shepherd's rod and staff are there to guide and comfort you. It's not about escaping the hard days, it's about knowing they don't get the final word. God's role isn't just a passive presence either. In the New Testament, Jesus invites those who are weary and burdened to come to him for rest, Matthew 11:28. That's active, an invitation to lay down what's too heavy and trust their strength beyond your own. Pair that with prayer or a quiet moment of surrender, and you've got another piece for your toolkit. Faith doesn't erase the struggle, but it can steady you, reminding you that hope isn't just wishful thinking, it's anchored in something eternal. Take one step today. Spot a trigger, drink more water, text a friend, build it brick by brick. In conclusion, you're preparing for the seasons ahead and you're stronger than you think.
Indeed, drink a lot of water, people, and eat lots of banana. Mr. Nick, Very well said. Another great episode of Mental Health 101. As Mr. Mick saying, a mental health toolkit is a personalized collection of strategies, resources, and a practice designed to nurture emotional resilience and manage psychological challenges. Rooted in evidence based approaches, it combines practical tools like mindfulness, exercise, cognitive behavioral techniques, and grounding practices. Mr. Mick, would you like to plug in something?
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Daniel, sure. The Idea Author Coach on Facebook, where I help people write books and sell more books. You can also listen to the Doctor of Digital podcast and also pick up a couple volumes out on Amazon. That is Bring America, the best things for children. We're on track to be with the opportunity.
Yes, indeed. I want to invite you to please go listen to my other podcast, Food 101, in its fifth season. People, fifth season is Chef Alexander, one of the special chef in one of the five-star hotel in downtown Toronto. Please do listen to our latest episode. We are reading the letters all over the world. So please do listen to 101 wherever you listen to podcasts. Mr. Mick, thank you so much for your time.
And my friend, till next time, AS Paul.
More to come, people. See you soon.